Here's Ways of the World. This is an A tune, so we're in the G tuning, capoed up. And we're going to start with the A part. And the A part is the really distinctive part. And I'll play the melody slowly. And then I will walk through the chord structure, and then we'll practice the melody. So here it is. All right, now the chord structure of this is just 1 and 7. So that means the open 1 chord, the A, and then the 7 chord, which is your F shape. It's not an F because we're capoed up, but your F shape. Now, one of the things that is really useful is that F shape. If you move it down 1, 2 frets, you have a different voicing of your 1 chord. So this is an A. And so you can shift between this and this to create a version of that part. And so that first string note down there is where the melody starts. So there's like a rough idea of how you can use the chords. Now I'm going to build the actual melody together, and I'm going to use my knowledge of those chords and where my fingers are, and that's going to help me place my fingers to figure out the melody that I want to use. And one of the things that I'm doing here is when I've got my chord down, I use my pinky finger here on these notes. And if my pinky was stronger, if I was a better player with my left hand, I would probably just use that pinky to do that work. But I'm a lot stronger with my other 3 fingers, so I have a tendency to go ahead and use my ring finger here and slide it up and stretch to get my first finger here. So that's the fingering that I use, and you can use that too, or you could be a little bit more, you could decide to be more adept at your pinky and practice with your pinky and use that there. At any rate, you're going to start on the 5th fret, and when I say 5th fret, in this case, I mean from the capo. So I've gone 5th, 3rd, and then jump to the 2nd string and hit that 1st fret with my pointer finger. And then I'm going to do a hammer on there with that finger. And I use a drop thumb to fill in this space there. And then a pull off from the 3rd fret of the 1st string. So. Slide. And that's that really distinctive part of the tune, is that slide from the 1st fret to the 3rd fret on the 2nd string. Now you have the option of doing what I just did there, slide and another bum ditty, or you could do 2 slides, which is pretty dynamic and sounds really good. Now the part starts to repeat. And here's where you got to do a little bit of thinking ahead, because you're going to go and that's one of those places where you're going to replace the brush thumb with a hammer-on, so that you're going to basically lead into the next leading note by using the brush thumb portion of the previous bum ditty. I know it sounds a little bit weird, but let me play through it one more time for you. So basically when you hit this note, and you would brush thumb, you're going to hammer on and lead to the open 1st string note. And then I did did that little drop thumb, and I got to this 3rd string 2nd fret note. Let me walk through that part really slowly one more time. There you go. That's the A part of Ways of the World. Now we're going to go to the B part, and this is a 3-part song. The B part is really short, though. It goes like this. Here it comes again. There's a lot of drop thumb that I use in that part in order to just keep the rhythm pushing forward. So it starts with the slide on the 1st fret to the 3rd fret of the 2nd string. And when I got to that C 4 chord, C shape, instead of picking a note and then doing a brush thumb, I actually land on that chord with the brush to start with. It just sort of makes it more present. So let me do that one more time. This is the whole part. So that was your B part. And your C part is longer, and it goes like this. There's a lot of open stuff in the C part. And so for me, it's really just a matter of kind of, I listened through the part that the fiddle was doing, and I basically just came up with a riff that sort of matched and didn't interrupt the fiddle. To be totally honest, I don't feel like I've nailed a melody for that C part, because it's very just pattern oriented. There's not a lot of melody notes that really pop out. So I made a riff that sounds good over the top. Okay, it all has to do with sort of like landing on that open 3rd string. So that's the first part. We're going to think of the C part as 4 sections. So the first section was that. Second section is going to do a little hammer on and go up the strings. We're going to repeat the first section. And then we're going to hit that C chord. All right, here's a slow version of Ways of the World that you should be able to follow along with. I'm going to play the melody in the A part, but you can go ahead and use the chords if you want to, and it should match just fine.